Hi, my name is Ashley Johnson, and today I'm going to share with you a book that I would consider to be one of children's literature's best, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And a lot of people have heard of the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, but not a lot of people knew that it was a book first. This book was written in the 70s by a woman named Judi Barrett, and it was illustrated by her husband, Ron Barrett. And Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was my favorite book growing up. Anytime that it was in the library, I would love to check it out, even though I had read it 4 or 5 different times, just because I thought it was such an interesting concept. So Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs opens on a grandpa cooking breakfast for his kids and for his grandkids, just like a normal family. And this grandpa said he knew of a tale of a town called Chew and Swallow. And Grandpa goes on to say that Chew and Swallow was a town like everybody else. They went to school, they went to work, they had stores, but there was something very unique about this town called Chew and Swallow. And in Chew and Swallow, they didn't have grocery stores. And you might say, why didn't they have grocery stores? And that was because in Chew and Swallow, their food rained from the sky. So whatever they ate, whether it was breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it all came from the weather. So instead of snow, they might have ice cream. Instead of rain, they might have orange juice. And this seemed to be a pretty great system for these people because they never had to buy food. All they had to do was walk outside with their plates and their forks and their umbrellas and their bowls, and they could have whatever meal was coming from the sky. And they never had to worry about cleanup because they had people whose job that was. Anyone who worked for city sanitation would just come and sweep up the leftovers and throw them in the dumpster, just like we would get rid of trash. And this seemed to be a pretty wonderful system for the people of Chew and Swallow. That wasn't until one day the weather started to go south. The people started to have weather that was pea soup and Brussels sprouts and smelly cheese and things that no one wanted to eat. But they didn't have a choice because this was how they got all of their food. So the people of Chew and Swallow were starting to get kind of upset. And then they had an even bigger problem. Their food started to grow super large and it rained from the ceiling bigger than houses. They had pancakes that would cover all of their homes, and the sanitation people didn't have a way to get rid of it. So even though the birds tried to eat it, it wasn't getting rid of it. And it became such a problem that the people of Chew and Swallow couldn't survive. They knew that they had to go somewhere else. So ultimately, what happens in this book is that the people of Chew and Swallow decide to abandon the town and look for a home elsewhere. So the people of Chew and Swallow set up a home on an island that they find elsewhere. And Grandpa ends the story by telling his grandchildren that Chew and Swallow was never to be found again. And I think that this book is full of lots of things that children love. It has fantasy, it has food, it has something that they've never heard of before, but it's also rooted in a family, which is something that a lot of children can connect to. So if I were you, I think I would love to use Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs in my classroom.